All right, Dr. Hill here, and we are in chapter 21 in the workbook, and I thought we could just walk through this, a little experiment in walking through the workbook together. And so I'm going to annotate a little bit on this just so that we can see as we work through the workbook. So this is a chapter on the imperfect, and so what we are looking for these verbs here, like this verb here, elegen, which is an imperfect. You can see here Lego is our verb. We have an augment on there. We see a third singular ending, and so third singular, and this would be an imperfect active. These are secondary endings. So let's start to translate. So de is but. Akenos is a demonstrative pronoun, but probably weakens in force to just be he. And then here we have our imperfect. So he was saying, or probably in this case, he was speaking. And then we have peri in the genitive, concerning. And then we have this long phrase, tu nau tu somatas autou. Tu somatas autou is the body of him or his body, and this is the temple of his body. The temple of his body. Probably in this case, the temple, which is his body. These would be an apposition, temple and body. Anyhow, that's the first thing. But really, we're trying to get around this idea of the verb here. So let's go on to the next one. And so here we have and, kai. And we have pas ha'aklos. All the crowd, every crowd. Probably in this case, it's all the crowd. All the crowd. And then here's our verb, which looks like erkamai to me. We have the lengthened augment on the front, and then we have a secondary active third person singular, ta, which is the subject is the crowd. See, notice that that's even though it's talking about a lot of people, it is a singular crowd. So all the crowd, and here we have was coming, prosauton, to him. And then kai edidasken. Here we have another imperfect. Notice how this looks like didasko. This is the present tense stem of didasko. It has an augment on it there. And then a third singular ending, active ending. Okay. This back here, this erkamai is deponent or middle only. Here, didasko is active. And so in this case, all the crowd was coming to him, and he was teaching them. Them being autus. So there we have that. Let's keep going. And here we can see we start with akuo. Here's de. Akuo is our verb, but we've got the augment. We've got a whether this is going to be a first singular or a third plural. We're going to look to the end of the sentence as we kind of scan it. We're going to see hoi pharisaioi is the subject, which is a third plural, right? And so the Pharisees, and maybe this is the Pharisees, all the Pharisees, or the Pharisees were hearing, so and or but the Pharisees, they were hearing, and probably in this case, panta and tauta are going to go together. All these things. All these things. And it's not probably, it is. And the reason why we know panta is not referring to the Pharisees is because it is not, let's see, if it was, it would be pontes, because this is a neuter plural, and this is a masculine plural. So that's why it is these things and not all. It is all these things and not all the Pharisees. All right. So, but the Pharisees were hearing all these things. All right, let's keep going. We're down here. We see here we have a third plural of the to be verb as an imperfect. For, and here we have, so many is our subject, polloi. Many were, and here's they were, many they were. Also, for many they were also, what were they doing? They were following. For many were also following. Akalutheo. Akalutheo, that we have our augment there. We have our third plural ending, and they were following him. And remember that akalutheo takes its object in the dative. And that's why you have a dative here. Okay, let's keep going. Here we've got, as we move through, we can see Jesus is our subject. Jesus, and here we have an imperfect. This is agapao here, agapao. We have an augment on the front, and then we have a third singular ending there because there's no ending in the third singular. So Jesus, or we can start with but, Jesus was loving. And here we have these proper names. Mary, doesn't have to be the Mary, Martha, and Tain Adelphane, her sister, and the sister, well, her sister, was loving Martha and her sister. And Lazarus. Let's throw Lazarus in there. And probably in this case, it's not an aorist. And this is the point I think he's making there, is that Jesus is consistently, currently loving them all, rather than the simple action of Jesus loved Martha and her sister. As we move down, let's keep seeing if we can do this. And I'm not going to write this one out. Let's see. And he requested him, what name to you? What is your name? And he says to him, Legion anima moi. Legion is my name, because polloi esmen, we are many. So Jesus asks him, and it's a demon, so he asks him, what is your name? And he says to him, Legion is my name. So anyway, that's the first half of the workbook. I'm going to move on to another video and put that up there. So hopefully that is helpful.